Alright, let us continue building our modern music player. In this episode, we will look at all the functionalities that have to do with our favorite songs. So let us get right into it. Before we get to that, or actually also part of the plan for today, let us finish up some things that we started in the first video. Like this volume, it doesn't really work now. Let's fix the volume. And also when a song gets to the end, we want to now go to the next song by default. So if the person has clicked on loop, we want to just also loop the song, and then the random tool should play. Because if I load a song now, load songs now, let me bring my volume down. Okay, slow already. If I play, if it gets to the end here, you see that it will just stop. It will get to the end and stop. But we want it to go to the next song by default if it reaches the end. And if the person has pressed loop, we should loop the song when it gets to the end, and then shuffle also should do the same. So let us get right into that. Let's first work on the volume, then work on the automatic next also. So remember this value we declared up here, self.currentVolume. That one is what we'll be using. By the way, if you have not watched the other video, I recommend that you do watch it. The link to the playlist will be in the description. As you can see, we are building a modern music player with Python. So let me try and open the UI file side by side like we always do. Okay, so this one will be main. Okay, so this dial is called volume dial, and then the label on it is called the volume label. So those are the two things that we will use. Okay, so let us call our function volume change. And then, as always, it's good to put it in a try except block. Okay, so volume change error. Here, what we'll do is you get the current volume of the dial I set it from 1 up to 100. So you see that the minimum here should be 0, then the maximum should be 100. If I actually run it, let me pass here and then try and run it. You see that the text actually changes. Okay, this one changes automatically also, so we don't have to actually even work on the label. But you see that it gets from 0 up to 100, so that is what we are targeting. Here, what we just have to do is self.currentVolume, that is the volume we declared up there, should be equal to self.volumeDial.value. So we want to set the current volume, which is up there, we made it 50, to the current volume of the dial. And after we set it, now we set the player, so self.player.setVolume. Set volume to this self.currentVolume. Okay, so just this will do. So we just first get the value of the dial, set it to the current volume, which we have set it to be 50 at default or at start, and then we set the player volume. So that should be all. Let's come up and then make our connection here. Okay, okay, it's also on the default page, so it can also be here. Here you can just say self.volumeDial.valueChanged.connect. We want to connect it to, but this won't be a lambda function. Oh, so self.volumeChanged. Like this, but this one, because we are using a lambda here because we have to actually call it with the open and close brackets. Let me load some songs. I've actually brought my system volume low so that to not really disturb with my voice, but I think I believe you can hear the song. Now when I bring it to 3, it's very low. I can't even really hear it. But when I try to bring it high, see that the volume is increasing. So our volume, we know that is now working. Let us work on the functionality that will come to default next whenever the song reaches the end of the line. That one, we have to find a way of getting the song, like find a way of getting or finding whether the song has finished playing or not. That should be something that should be easy to do. Let us call it song finished. So song underscore finished. Okay. Here all we have to do is if status, but this one we have to pass in, oh sorry, song finished. Apart from self, we have to pass in status also. So the application which we are now referring to as self can keep track of its own status. So you can leverage on that to check whether the song is finished playing. So self dot, if self dot, okay, or status, because you're actually passing it in straight, equal to kill media player dot end of media. So if this is the case, then self dot next song. But why we are calling this next song, if you remember in the previous video we worked on this function. So if it is shuffled, it will call the shuffled next. If it is looped, the looped next will be called. Other than that, the default next will be called. So that is what we are trying to do. But we have to do one more thing at the top here, create a connection for that function that we just created. Can be here. And what we have to do is self.player dot media change, or no, media status changed, this one, dot connect self dot song finished. Yes, this is all that we have to do. And so let's test it out and see. If it all works, then it means that the song should play to the default. The next song should automatically play when we reach the end of this first one. Let's try it out. And you can see that it actually played the next song automatically. If I click on this one, I know it's playing feeling happy, but it should play life is a dream because we actually worked on that function the last time to make it play the next song based on what is playing and not what is selected. And of course it's playing. So let's check our loop, whether that one will work. And let's see. It should play the same song. Yes, it's playing. And now let's play randomly and see. Okay, I think it did work. Okay, the random tool is working. So now we are able to play the next song by default. Let us work on how to switch between these tabs, then work on our favorites as we plan to do today. So to switch between the other tabs, I think I'll keep those functions down. So this function will help us go to the favorites tab, and it's quite simple. So all that we have to do is to say self dot stack widget because self dot stack widget dot set current index. So we want to set the current index, set current index. And then this is how the index works. So this one, which is now being rendered, the first one is index 0, playlist is index 1, and favorites is index 2. So if you want to go to the favorite tab, you just have to pass in index 2, and then that should be good to go. Okay, so let's work on the other one. Now, if you go to the favorites tab, we will not be able to come back to the song list page unless we write functions also for that. So let's just work on that one also. At least for all three, this one should be straight to song list tab. Yep. So switch to songs underscore tab. Now this index should be 0 because it's the first one, and then we can also work on the playlist, or no, the favorites, because this is for the playlist. So okay, no, this is for the favorites, the index 2. So the index 1 here should be for the playlist. Switch to playlist tab. Okay. So all that we have to do is to call them up here in our connection. So under the default page, yes, they are all in the default page. So let's see the name of the button. This one is called Songlist BTN. So self.songlistbtn.clicked.connect to self.switch to songs tab. Yep, this one. And then we can duplicate it for the rest. And see, this one is called playlist BTN. So this should be self.playlist BTN right here. And that one will be straight to switch to playlist tab. And this one's name should be favorites BTN. Okay, so favorites BTN, and this one we want to switch to favorites tab. Don't forget to delete the bracket here. Okay, let's try it out and see. Now when we come here, see that now it's on the playlist tab, now too is on the favorites tab, so we can easily switch between those three screens. And so let's work on the functions to save, load, and play and delete all our favorite files and see. It will require us to create one more file here, which we will call db functions. You can name it anything, but I'll choose db functions, because that is what we are coming to do in there. We are going to create database functions inside there. So the first one that okay, let's write the database functions, at least for all of them, then we know how to call them inside the main application. Quick import. So we want to import OS. We also want to import SQLite 3. It comes with Python. We don't need any external. And that is all we need in this file. And we also want to create one we'll call app database, which should be equal to, before then, let's just create database path, because I don't want it to be plenty. So okay, I will explain it, so no problem. What we want to do here is os.path.join. We want to now join again, so os.path.join again. I don't want it to confuse. Let me just write it up here. So this one will be database dir. So the directory for the database, which will be os.path.join. We want to join OS, the current directory, with a particular folder in the current directory called dbs. That is what we want to do. So os.get current working directory, and then directory name .dbs. It is not created yet, but you create it very soon. And then here, the app database should be inside this database directory. So we want to join it again. So another os.path.join this database directory together with a file which is called app_db.db. So that should be the name of the database of our application. Okay. Now we have to write a function now either to create either a database or the database table. So create the database or a database table. Okay, so define create database or database table. Okay, and then in here we want to give the table name, so the table name, which we want it to be a string. And then we create our connection to the database. How SQLite works is that if the database exists, it will connect to it. If it doesn't exist, it will create it. So SQLite3.connect, what we want to connect to is the app database. So if it doesn't exist, it will create it. So on the first run, it will create it. On the subsequent runs, it will just connect to it. And then we have to also create the cursor for the database. Think of it like if we're using a graphical user interface like pgadmin for Postgres SQL, or if you are using a MySQL Workbench or whichever database GUI you are using, you move your cursor around to click on some buttons and all that. So think of it like the cursor that you'll be using in a graphical user interface, just that this one is written in code to do our work for us. Okay, so that should be connection.cursor. And then what we have to do is the cursor.execute. We want to execute a database a command to the database. So mostly in 3 strings like this. Sorry. Okay. So what we want to do is create a. You don't have to put it in capital letters. But it's actually advised that you put them in uppercase. Create table if not exist, and then we pass in the table name. So this place should we should actually convert it to an F string. So table name. Okay. Python automatically fixes the F in front of me, but if the F is not there, make sure you bring it. So table name, and then this will have only one column, which is called song. So you can just add it to the same line. So the name of the column is song, and then it should be text. So it should be the data type should be text. If you don't understand databases, don't worry. But I don't think it should be too difficult to follow. We are just creating the table, database table if it doesn't exist. And then it has only one column, which is called song. And then the data type is text, which Python will call a string. And after we do that, we have to do connection.commit and then connection.close. Okay, so this should work. It should create our database for us if it doesn't exist. So let's just see how that one works. But you know, our database directory doesn't exist here. If we don't create it, the chances that we run into an error when we call that function. And to make it more professional, you know, we don't have to right click here and then create the file. Because after we are done, if we export the app to somebody who doesn't have Python, if we don't, then we have to tell the person to create the folder. Other than that, the app will not run. So what we want to do is that we want to now do it with code so that we make it more efficient. So we'll try and create it if it doesn't exist, and if it exists, fine, it will skip it. That one will not be part of the class method, so we can bring it up here as a static method. Or yes, static method. So it should be called create this. So create, or maybe create db dir to make it more specific. And here we can say os.make this one, and then we pass in the directory, so .dbs. It should make this directory, And then one very important parameter here is if exists, okay, we set it to true. What this one means is that if it doesn't exist, create it. If it exists, then just skip and don't throw any error. Okay, so we have to now call this one inside our init here. We can call it, okay, anywhere, but let me just give something like init, or maybe create database directory. Okay, so I can here call create dbdir. Now when I run the file, I think I forgot the A. When I run the file, look at this side, you see that among the folders that will be here, the database dir will be there. Now let me close it. You see that it has been created, the .dbs has been created. So now we will not run into any error. So when it doesn't exist on the first run, it will just create it for us. Okay. So now let's see how let's go back and then create functions to add songs to the database and probably call songs from it, so that when we come to the other file, we know that we are just building it up and going. We'll not be switching between files just to confuse ourselves. Okay, so let's continue with that. Obviously, we will add songs to the database or the favorite table. So let's work on that one. So define add song to database table. Okay, and what we want to add here is the song, of course. We also need the table, and we will also need the database to work with. So, but this database should be equal to app database here. Okay. Once again, we create the connection, we do the cursor. So I think it's just the same process like this one. Let's just copy this, paste it here, and then do the changes. So what we just have to connect to our database, we have to create our cursor also. And this one will be not this. So let me just delete everything inside here. We insert into table, and then we give the name of the table. So this will be table. And then now we pass in the values that we want to insert. So we just say values. And then because it's just one, we can use this placeholder like this, one. And then after the open and close quotes, we pass in a tuple. Don't please follow this specifically. Other than that, you get an error. So song, then you bring a comma. So it should be a tuple. Let me close this side so that I can see the whole code. So just like this, if you put in just song without it being in a tuple, to not work. If you put it in a tuple without this comma here, it wouldn't work. So just put it in a tuple and put the comma out there. So that is how it kind of works. SQLite takes it that way. And then let's see how we can delete song from the database also. Song from database. Of course, we need a song also. We need a song here. We need a particular target, the target table, and we need a database. Database which is equal to, okay, this place should actually be database. Other than that, there's no need putting this one here. So database equal to app database, and this thing will almost always be the same for all of them. So we can just copy them and paste. Okay, so we are of course connecting to our database and this and that. So this is always the query that changes. Let me see. Let me delete this one also. But this one, let me actually clear everything from this place. Okay, I want it this way rather. How this one works is, let's say our favorites list or our databases, the playlist we'll be able to support if you want to add the same song twice to a favorite list. Of course, it should allow you. Maybe you want to be able to play it multiple times, maybe 10 times when you load your favorite list. So you add duplicates of the same file, you allow it. But how database deleting from the database works is this. If let's just assume that yes, for a very practical example, let's just assume that this editor here is a database table, and then these numbers you see here are row IDs. So the row IDs in the database keep track of that also. If, for instance, I have a song here, so song 1, and then the same song, that's the same song name repeats for 5 times like this, and I issue a command to delete by the song name here, what will happen is it will delete all these entries. In fact, we can just do that and try it and then see. So when it works that way and then deletes it, then I'll show you how to, if we have multiple entries like this of the same item, how to delete one without using the ID, but just maybe the song name or something like that. The ID will be unique, but of course the song name will be the same. So let me write the query now and show you how it will not work, or it will actually work but delete all the files, but and then come and show you how to delete just one from it using just the song name. Okay, so this one will just go like delete from and then the table name will come where, and then where song, because we are deleting where song equals, because we are calling the column song here. So where the column song is, or this one can pass equal to and then song. Okay, so this should do also. So I think we have enough to call the functions in our main.py file. So let's just go ahead and work on the favorite list. Okay, so those ones we have to, when the app loads at first, we have to load all the files from the database or the favorite list database and list them in the favorite song list. So like here, this is what I'm saying. When the app loads, all the files or the songs that are in the favorite list should be listed here. That is by default. So let's work on that. But I think we should first work on how to add a song first before we actually think of loading it. Okay, let's define add song to favorites. And in here, we just say the current index should be equal to self dot loaded song list widget, this one, dot current row. Okay, so that will give us the song, the index of the song, sorry, and then we can now I think we should perform some check. So if current index is none, if the user has not clicked on any song, that there's no song playing, or the user just wants to add to favorite, then we can show some information. So q message box dot information. Okay, self as always, and we can pass in here. So add this will be the title. Okay, and then the message that will show to the user. Select a song to add to favorites. Okay, so this one will make sure that the person selects a song before they can add to favorite, and then we can return here. Other than that, that is if the user selects a file, then this is what you want to do. It's best to put in the try except block. So adding, because you're actually communicating with the database, we're adding song to the favorite, favorite error. Okay. So the particular song, that's the full part of the song, will be songs dot current song list at current index. This will give us the full part of the song we want to add. And then we can call the add song to database table. Did we call it that way? Database underscore table. This where is it? Add song to database table. This is the function that we are calling. So if I hover over it like this, Python will automatically import it for me. If it doesn't, if I'm using a different editor that doesn't do this, then you can import from DB functions. Import this one from DB functions. Okay, so this place I have to pass in the particular song and then the database name. So because those are the ones that are left. The database is already taken. So the first one, which is the song, should be equal to an F string of song. I think it should be a string, but still let's just be safe. And then the table should be equal to favorites. But I don't think we have actually created this favorites table. The database itself is not created. I don't think so. It's not created. So this one might throw an error. Let's create the database first. So up here, I think I can change this one to database staff, something like that. Why do I always forget the A here? Okay, so this one will create the database table, but we have to also create the database itself. So this one, create database or database table if you create it. And then this one we can even pass in the favorite table, because that table will be created by default, because when the app opens, we just have to get that table inside the database table. So the rest of the tables will be the playlist that the user will create. So I'll hover over it, this one again, and then Python will import it for me. So once again, that if it doesn't import it, make sure you import it from DB functions or whatever name you give to this particular file. Okay. This will also create the favorite table. So this should get rid of any error that we may have. Now let's run it and see. Okay, now if I expand I think we got an error. Exists. Oh, I think it should be exists like this. Okay. So the database was created as you can see here. Let me delete it. Then now let's run it again. Okay, now it's in. Now I can see that my database is inside here. There are some files that will allow you to read the contents of this one. A lot of them. The one that I use is called DB browser. DB browser for SQLite 3. This one. So if you want to download it, I think you can just open your favorite search engine and then just search DB browser SQLite download. Something like this will pop up, and then it will take you to this website. And here you can check for your OS and then download it. So this is what I use. I think I'm making reference to the database so that you understand what is going on at the back end also. So you can download this one and then install it, and then let's follow along. So here I will open the database. So I can come in here and then open in Explorer just to get a path. I want to get a path. Okay, so copy, and then inside this one, I just click on open database. It will allow me to open this database. You see that a lot of things, but we are on the database structure here. And inside here, you find tables. You see there's favorites. When you expand the favorites, you see that there's only one column called song. If you come to browse data, it's only favorite that you have. But if we just say song, you see that there's nothing in here that we can actually view. So let's try and add a few songs to our favorites and see. I actually closed the database connection because I don't want any file integrity error when Python is connecting to the database. Okay, so now we can, I think we can try and add a song because of this, but we have to make a connection up here. Okay, once again, let me close this side for you to see it well. And then to our connections, still on the default page, but this one should be, okay, self dot, what should be the name? This one called add to fav btn. So add to favorite btn dot clicked dot connect. Want to connect it to self dot add song to favorite. This one. Okay. Let's see how it goes. So if I don't have any song, I click on this, it should give me some error. I was expecting an error. Okay. We'll try and work on that. But if I click on this and add to favorite, it looks like nothing has happened. But let me close this one. Open the database again. Okay, it didn't add it to the favorite, so what should be the problem? It doesn't look like there's any error with this function also. Okay, let me just delete this ones and see. Okay, it says there's an error here that says list index out of range. So I don't think it was even this one that was causing the problem. But why is the list index out of range? Now let me. Okay, I think it was because no files were loaded. But now let me add files here and see if the list index will still be out of range. Okay, so we have an syntax error near table. So let's check our function and see. So insert into table, that means the error is somewhere close here. Okay, this should not be here. This should not be here. So it's insert into and then the table name. That is what should be there. Okay, so let's see. Life is a dream. Add to favorites. There was no error. Let me just add Tech House Vibes, a happy Christmas also. There's no error, so we know that one at least should work. Open the database here. And now when we come to the browse data tab, and then inside the favorites table, we make sure that one is selected. Of course, it's the only table there. You see that there are 3 files in here, which are the 4 parts of the songs I added. If you think it will not really be annoying to add pop-ups after the successful addition of a song to favorites, then you can maybe duplicate this one here and then see that maybe in an F string you can say os, or maybe no, yes, os dot path dot base name of song has been added to favorites, or any appropriate sentence that you deem fit. But I don't think I like it this way. I'm just testing something. If it works, I'll just delete it off from there. For me, it is very annoying that after every addition, this one should be added. So raising me higher has been added to favorite. If you want something like this, you can actually do it, but I don't want it. So I'll go ahead. I'll not delete it, but I'll comment it so that in case you download the source code and you want it just like this, you can just uncomment this part and then it will work for you. So if you look at it, I think I can. Okay, let me refresh and see. Okay, it works. But for the purpose of the demonstration of the delete, let me just add this raising me higher like just 2 times and see. So raising me higher, add to favorites, add to favorites, add to favorites, add to favorites. That would be like 4 times or so. So let me just refresh and see so that it's in here plenty, like 5 times. So let's work on, we can just write some SQL queries here, execute SQL query. So let's just try and execute some queries here. And so we can say delete, oh, I don't think my font size is large enough for you to see. Okay. So I think it should be okay now. Delete from, and then the table name is favorites. Okay. Where song is equal to, and then let me copy this song that they're raising me higher here. Let me just copy it here like this. I'm sorry, it looks like Python has turned to SQL, but I just want you to understand. So what I just did is I've just pasted it here. I just hope you see. And then it's best to terminate this statement with a semicolon. Now, okay, or let me not delete this. If I did, okay, let it be that. If I run this query, says execution finished without errors. Let me come to data. See that everything is gone. So what it did was to delete every entry that matches this particular string that I pasted here, which is the song. So in the case where the user chooses to add multiple songs to favorites, the same song multiple times to favorites, that means that if the user is deleting, everything has to go. But there's a way around that. Before then, let's just write the functionality to add all the songs that are in the favorites database or database table to the favorites list page. I think it's best, it's appropriate. So this will be add song to favorites. I promise that I'll do my best to comment it. So this place will be load favorites songs. Okay, so let's just define what should be the name. Load favorite into app. Okay, and this is what we want to do. So here will be favorite underscore songs should be equal to I don't think we have yet written that function, so let's go back and write it. We have to try and fetch all songs from a database table. So that will also be way easy to do. All songs from database table. I think this one too should be properly named delete song from database table. Yeah. Then be sure to rename it. So update all this usage so that inside this place where we are also calling it here, it will also be updated accordingly. If it doesn't update, make sure you update it here also. Other than that, to throw an error the next time you want to add to favorites. Okay, so fetch all songs from database table. This one, we just have to pass in the table name. And then the database which is equal to app database. And then once again, permits me to copy all this space and then paste it here. I think this demonstration will not really be necessary because we are using the DB browser now. And then we have to just make a few changes to this place. So this place, just have to delete it. Oh, I forgot this colon at the end. Just so simple should be select the name of the column, so song from, and then the table name, so table. Okay, this will select everything in the column song from the database table. So and this is how it will really come. Let me show you here. So let me comment this line and just say, let's repeat the same query here. Select song from favorites. Okay, and then let's run it and see. Okay, it will not see it here really like this, but it's kind of returns it not just like a simple list, so we just have to do some indexing also. Song data should be equal to cursor.fetch all. So we want to fetch all, and then now we can say data is equal to list comprehension of song data 0. We want the first item inside that. It will return like a kind of, I think it's a tuple of tuples, where each record is a tuple, and then the whole column is also one tuple, so tuple of tuples or something like that. So select, so this one is song data for song data in song data. This one, no, I don't think this one, I think it's a little confusing. So song for song in song data should be more appropriate. So this is it. So it will return just the first item in each of the tuple, and then put it all inside one list, and then give it to us, and that one will be able to use it well. So as everything now, we want to return the data, so the list should be returned. Fantastic. And now we can call this function here. Where were we? Okay, so what's the name of the function? Fetch all songs from database table. Okay, and then let's again import it, and here should be favorites. Okay, so this one will fetch all the songs from the favorites table for us, and then we can use it. So we can, this one will now be a list, more readable. Then we can now load everything from here into our favorites list widget. So that is it. Let's come here and then create one list which is called favorites underscore songs underscore list. So we want to be able to just, if in case we want to also play just the favorite songs, we want to play it from this list. If you want to play the song that has been loaded, we want to play it from this list just to keep things organized. Okay, so this one we have to clear songs.favorite song list dot clear. We also want to clear the favorite list widget, so self dot. Oh, I should stop that, and then maybe when it runs the error, then you know why I'm doing that. But let me just write it and comment it out, and I will show you what the line is doing. So self dot favorite list widget, this one, also dot clear. Okay, and then what we want to do is for favorite in favorite songs dot favorite song list dot append favorite, and then self.favorite list widget dot add item. We want to add item. So for now, it's just it should just be os.path.base name of the favorite song. Okay. But what we have to do is that after we add every song to favorites, we should actually call this favorite list widget so that the user will immediately see the song that has been added to favorites. Down here, can just call self.load favorites, load favorites into app. Why is this thing doing this? So load favorites into app this way. Okay. But at the top here too, we have to call it so that when the app runs at first, it will also be called. So self.load favorites into app. Yep, this is okay. Now when we come to the favorites tab, we see that all the ones are in here. Raising me higher is also there 5 times, even though when we come here we will not see it, simply because we have not written the changes to the database yet. So let me close Python and then write, no, not revert, sorry, write changes. When we write changes and we run it again, it should not be there. So this is it. We have all our songs loaded here. Okay, so let's add the favorites icon to it so that it will look like just like the song list widget looks. So in that case, let me get closer to this function here. Okay, so it should not just be this os.path.base name. Once again, we have to add a kill list widget item. So kill list widget item, and this one will be kill icon. The name of the icon for this one is just put this one there. So /imges/utils/light.png. This one should give you that particular image that we want. And then now finally we can add this one also. So this one should format it nicely for us with an emoji. Yes, with this emoji, so that shows us that this is our favorite song. Okay. Now let's look at how we can, of course we will play from favorites very soon, but let's look at how we can delete from favorites. Since we are adding from here, let's see how we can delete from favorites also. Okay, so here we perform 2 checks. So if the favorite song list is empty, then if you click on the remove, I don't know why you even be clicking on the remove. So let's just do self.favorite list widget dot count is 0. Then we want to this queue message box, will be using it a lot. Oh, that's the only thing I copied. Okay, so this one will be remove song from favorites. And then we can see here that favorite list is empty. Okay, then we return. Other than that, you want to also perform another check. So, but the current index, so current index should be equal to self.favorite list widget dot current row. So if this current index is also none, so it's not, that's the user has not selected anything, then let's paste it again We also want to tell the user that the user has not selected any song. So here, just to speed things up, okay, select a song to remove from favorite. Okay, so if it's empty, tell the user, if the user has not selected anything, tell the user to select a song so I can remove it from favorite. Okay, then afterwards we can just try and say moving from favorite error, then E. And then in here we can, did we write the function to delete a song from the database? I don't think so. Okay, there is. So let's just copy it because we need it here. And then we can say song should be equal to songs dot favorite list widget, because now we are deleting from the favorite list widget, so we want it at the current index. And then call this our function here. Make sure to import it. Okay, here we have to pass the song and the database table, but I think there's a similar thing up here. Yes. And so we want to delete this song from the database, the favorite database. Okay, so I think this is all that we have to do, and we have to also load the favorites again after we do this. So load self.load favorites into app, this one also. And so we can, let's try also in the same way and then write the function to remove all songs from favorites, because the two are close. Mostly when I paste it, it goes into the indentation messes up. So remove all songs from favorites. So remove all songs from favorites. Okay, so if this one is also empty, just say remove all songs from favorites. So favorite list is empty, should be also okay. This place we don't actually need a current index, so yes, we don't need it. What we need rather will be a question, but I think we have written one not long ago. Yes, this question. Just to speed things up, that's why I'm doing some copying and pasting. So remove all songs. So this should be the question. So remove all songs from favorites. Should be the title. This has to remove all songs from favorites, and it cannot be reversed. Continue. Yes. Okay. So if this is the case, let's put pass for now, and then do we have a function to delete all songs from database? I don't think so. Let's quickly implement that here and then come. I don't think so. So I should be very close to this one. So let's just duplicate it. Okay, so delete all, all songs from database table. That's why we will not really need a song. We only need a table. And then the database, of course. So we make a connection, all songs, and then we just say delete from table here. So delete from table, this one will just delete everything from the table. Yes, which in our case should be favorites. I think this should do. Yes, this should do. So let's copy this function here, and then now here say delete all songs from database table, and then yes, here. Okay. And then the database that we want to delete from the table is, oh no, favorites. Okay. This part, I don't think we really need it. Yes, we don't need it. I think we do need it. So if this question is equal to yes, then let me do this. Other than that, removing all songs from favorite error. What's these exceptions that we are printing to the terminal will not really show, because this one will not even be a command line app or a console app when we export it or build it. But so that in case we run into an error, we know from our terminal where exactly the error is coming from. Okay. Why is it saying this? Okay, so if this is the case, this one should be indented. Yes. Yes, this one should do. This one should do. So let's come up here and do the connection for the two. Okay. What is the name of this one? This is, let me just copy. So self dot, sorry, dot clicked dot connect self dot remove song from favorites. Okay, and then the next one should be, what is the name of that file also? The button here. Okay, no, it should be here rather. And then this should be remove all songs from favorites. Okay, so this should work. Let me try and bring it down. Yep, this should work. Let's test it out and see. So there is, okay, it says playlist. Okay. This is not where we are supposed to do it. So, life is a dream. Delete. Didn't go. Okay. Removing from favorites error. Unrecognized token. Let's fix that error. I don't think the error should be here. Where is it? These kind of errors are very, very difficult to fix because it looks like it says unrecognized token. This is this error coming from the database or it is coming from this function? Okay, let me inspect the database function also. So delete from table by song equal to, is it that I should terminate this with a semicolon? Let me see. Okay, I think the error is coming from here. Okay, I found the error. Let's come to our DB browser. You see, here we put the song that we want to delete inside quotes. But inside here, we didn't add the code, so that is what caused the error. Now, if you run it here, delete feeling happy, see that feeling happy is gone. Let's see, delete all, cancel. Now everything is gone. So let's import some songs here. let's just add this one multiple times, this one, this one, this one also, and this one. So now they will all be added here. Fantastic. If you delete feeling happy, all the feeling happies will go. So that is what you want to fix. Here inside database, this is where we can do our playing. So let's see how. Okay, for now let's add more songs. And then see how we delete just one of them from the database instead of all of them. So okay, let's look at a particular. Okay, tech house vibes. See that one has been added multiple times. Okay. So inside here, if we open database, discard. Okay, browse data, favorites. See that there are actually plenty here. The tech house vibes is plenty. Okay. Now this is the hack around how to just get only one song from the database, even if there are multiple songs. We can say delete, from, and here we will pass in the table, so which will be favorite, favorite. This one should be capital, so from, okay. And then we can now say where row ID. This one comes in with the database, the SQL gives it us here. So we didn't add it as song as part of our columns, but we have it because it's just SQL's way of keeping track of the records here. Each row has a unique ID. So where row ID equal to, and then now we can pass some things in here. So we can say that, okay, if there are 5 copies, all of them at row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we have 5 IDs for the database to do the deleting. So we can now rather select, and then we select the minimum from row ID. Row ID like this. Yes. And then we can say from favorites. So from what is wrong with my typing today? So from favorites, where song equal to song. So where song equal to, then let's get one song here and add it. Now browse data, this one. So copy, okay. So this is what we'll do to this, our hack around it. So delete from database where row ID equal to. So select minimum row ID where songs equal to blah blah blah. So let's just come here. See this is row ID 8. So from row ID 5 to 8 is the same thing. So it will actually delete all of them. But what will happen now is it will select 5 because you are selecting the minimum row ID from the row IDs that will be returned. It will select 5 and delete only 5 and leave the rest. I think this one should also be caps also. Okay. So let's see, and then let's immediately afterwards call everything from our favorite list to see. So select song from favorites. Okay. Let's run this query. It has been finished without errors. Now let's select this one too, and then run it. Instead of 8, you see that we now have 7. Original, okay, it will also affect it, but the original was 8. Now we have 7. If I revert changes now, so that we have 8, and then run the query again, here we see that we get 8. But if I do this and then run this query again, Now it returns 7. So now we have now worked on how to delete just one from it, even when we just have the song column. So I can just copy that and then go to the B functions where we are deleting song from database. I can get rid of all of this from here. And then paste it in here. Okay. PyCharm should help me in formatting. Okay, it's actually not helping, so I have to do it on my own. This one should come in here. Okay, it looks good to me, but this place should not be hard-coded like this. This one should be song. Okay, so this is all that we need to do. Let's see. So close database, discard the changes. We want to do it from this side rather. Back to favorites, select this one, delete, see that only one of them is gone. Yes, so that is also it about this. I think the next thing that we have to do here is to actually try and then play the favorites also. So in playing the favorites, that is way easier to do. We just use the same play function. Where is it? Okay, play song. But here we just have to check if the selection is coming from all, which of the tabs is active, whether the current song tab or the favorites tab is active. So that one will help us to play just either the song that has been loaded or the favorite song. Okay, so you know that this particular part is for where we are playing from the song list. So that one you can say if self.stackWidget.current_index equal to 0. That is only when we want to do this. self.stackWidget.current_index equal to 2. That's for the favorite song list. Then it should be the same, but in this case, this one will be favorite song list widget, and then the selection. This one too should be favorite song list widget. Yes, I think this is all that we need to do, and then yes, it will play also from favorite. So let's try it out and see. And now we don't even have a song here, so let's just see if this one will play. You can see that it's playing, but we have not worked on the next. I think the stop will work, but the next and previous will not work. So let's just try and work on it also. They shouldn't be far from here. Okay, so the default next is also here. That one too, you just have to adjust it just a little bit. Okay, so see, all of this once again is for the loaded song list widget. So if self.stackWidget.current_index equal to 0, then it means you are playing from the loaded song, and then all of these can come under it. And then we can copy. So elif, no, this one, elif self.stackWidget.current_index equal to 2. That is for the playlist. Then we can paste this one and just make some adjustments. The media is also play. But in this case, what if the user plays a song from the song list widget and then decides to switch the favorite tab and then click next? That means Yes, that will introduce a bug, because in that case the next song will be playing from the favorite song list and not the song list where the original song is playing. Yeah, we'll try and fix that one, or I should leave that one to you to fix it. Okay, let's just do this way and we'll see whether I'll try and fix it or I will leave you for you to fix it. So this one should be the same, and then the current index is what we change. So this one will be favorite song list. Yes, and then we can see the current song is what about this one. So this one should be favorite song list widget, and this one will be favorite song list widget. Yes, just like that, and then it will do. Okay, so let's just try and then try the default nest on this one also and see. Nest. Okay, it's playing. So we can work on the previous and all those ones. Automatically the loop and co will work because they just work with the same function. So once we work on them like this, they will just work. So this place we should just try and then see. All this place belongs to the first stack widget. So if self.stack widget dot current index equal to 0, that's we have the loaded song list widgets, then that's what we want to do. Elif self dot stack widget dot current index equal to 2. Then we want to this one should be from favorite song list, and then this one should be favorite song list, and this one should be favorite list widget. Yes, this one should also be the same. Why is this thing throwing an error here? Okay, this side. Okay. It's not really in the indent. I don't know why. Let me see. Now it's in there. Okay, but this place should be favorite song list. This place should be favorite list widget. Okay. I think we still have some errors somewhere. Okay, here. Okay, let me just try and then bring all of them. Everything inside this try except. And now try to indent them in there. Okay. Okay, now everything is working. So we can, let's reformat the file. We can work on the shuffled nest also. So we know that this is also for the loaded song list. So we can say if self dot stack widget dot current index should be equal to 0, then this is what we want to do. Elif dot stack widget dot current index equal to 2. Then this is the same thing, but we want to just adjust certain things. So this one will be favorite song list. Then this will be favorite song list dot set current row. Yep, that's also to do for all of them. I think we can work on the previous. Where is it? This place is for the loaded song list, so we can just cut it off and then say if self dot stack widget dot current row for current index, sorry, is 0, then this is what we want to do. Leave self.stack widget, leave self.stack widget dot current index equals 2. Then it should be the same thing, but we just have to adjust just some small portion. So this one will be favorite song list, and then this one will be favorite song list. Everywhere we see the current song list, we just have to replace it, and this one will be favorite list widget. Yes, this should do. I think I have some feeling that we did not really replace some stuff, some place well at the default nest. Let me see. Yes, display. So if this length that we are checking should be the favorite song list. Yes, that is all good, and this favorites also would work. Play. The pause on pause will just work for all of them. Now next, and automatically knows how to go to the next song also. And also go previous. Looks like it skips some of them. Why? We go to the previous. Ideally, it's not supposed to be that error is not supposed to be happening. Let me see. Why is this skipping this too? It doesn't play any of them with speed. Wow. Let me see if the same error is with the song list. That one works flawlessly. So what is the issue? We are getting the current media, of course, and then the URL, which we are also getting, the index, which is getting from the favorite song list. And then if the current index is 0, we set it to the last index. Other than that, just subtract 1 from it. And then the current song is this. This seems to be through an error, but I don't know why it is doing that. Let's just continue when we'll fix that one in later. And so let's see what's left for us to do on this page. Well, I think that is all that we have to do, because this button is working and this side is also working. I don't know why this error is persisting here, but let me just try out the shuffling and see. Okay. It looks like our shuffled nest is also not working. Let me see. Shuffle. Okay, this will be favorite song list. Sorry about that. Very, very sorry. Disadvantages of copy and paste. Let me see. Play. Shuffle. working. Okay, and then the loop also. The loop also is working. Okay, so the only problem now is this next and previous that is actually not really working. So should that be in the default next? This one is for the loaded song list. In this place, we are getting the current media. We are getting from the favorite song list the index, comparing length of the favorite song list. Next index is this. This also should not show an error. Why is it not really working? Okay, from my side, I think the code should work. I don't really know why it's not working. And I'll not prolong this video by trying to find a particular bug. So that will be the end of this particular episode where we worked on the favorite list and how to add and remove songs from the favorites and even play from there. So in the next episode, we'll look at how to extend it to the playlist and then any other touches that we have to do to application to package it nicely. We'll have to do that. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you another time with another video. If you like the video, make sure to give us a thumbs up. It really motivates me to create amazing content such as this. And also consider subscribing if you have not done so. I'll see you another time with another video. Bye for now.